Yeah, I definitely know the pain of the rebasing process. It's I've done it to and from the same couple game systems with multiple armies over and over again. It seems to be my life.
Oh
And
yeah, like that is my Empire army. It started off life as Empire, and then it became Free Guild, which became Cities of Sigmar, which then got started getting rebased for Cities of Sigmar to be like all the appropriate, like making handgunners into
right.
Fusiliers and stuff like that. And then I'm like, you know what? Fuck this army. And I'm putting it all back on squares now.
My my dark elves and wood elves are the most back and forth I think I've ever done, just from city and all cities style stuff. Really, it's
Yeah.
crazy. But also, welcome to Strength Hammer Podcast, episode 197.
Woo!
Did the
What's up, nerds?
surprise cold intro. Oh man!
Yeah. I don't know when you started recording, but
Right,
we're here now.
right after your last, you said last snip.
Oh, okay.
Trust me, I cold open them. I'm not gonna cold open that hard. Talk for 2 hours before we hit record. Now we're going.
Nah, we're good. We're good.
But
We're doing it
everybody,
live.
yeah, we're doing it live. Everybody, you can see that this is not Alex.
Yes.
This is
I
this
am
is.
not nearly as muscular and vascular as Alex.
But you're just as handsome, and you have a nice story to tell us tonight. But we'll get there when we get there. As I need to move my mouse off my
Yes.
face. But Paul Conti, Radio Free Hammer Hall, which is going to be the most confusing thumbnail everyone's ever seen because it's my thumbnail's always like Strength Hammer podcast episode and the number, and then some image that represents the
Yeah.
show. The image that I put on the top gradient to transparent is going to be your logo.
My logo that I made in like MS Paint in like 2015
I
and have never changed.
really, I could just make you a collaborator. You could just make this your video for the week too, if you want. Oh man, Paul, thank you for filling in. It's fun to have a
It's
get.
great to be here.
Yeah, I mean, I have a guest on. I haven't had a guest on in a couple of years. I feel like I'm really bad at
Yeah.
scheduling it. And to be fair, you and I just did an episode over on your channel, which shout it out. Like, let us know more about your channel while we're here.
Yeah, my channel, Radio Free Hammer Hall. I don't do much stuff anymore. But I do a lot of like Math Hammer stuff
Yeah,
and some hobby stuff once in a while. Like at this point, it's just kind of like if I feel like making a video about something, if I have thoughts on something, or if I'm working on some project, I don't know, throw up a video about it. I long story short, I had to take like monetization off of my channel because of my job.
sure.
Um, like conflict of interest kind of stuff.
Yeah, understandable. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so like oddly enough, even though I was making like virtually nothing off of it, like the fact that I had to turn that off took the wind out of my sails a little bit.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I have not achieved it yet because the goals keep like by
Yeah.
the time I get somewhat close, they just push the goals out. I'm like, I don't care. This is just me having fun with my Warhammer friends. That's all it's about. So, but yeah, I could feel that if you got there and it's like, oh, take it away. Like, ugh, that hurts.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it like seriously is like not even about the money. It's just like the moral loss of it.
Yes, like I worked so hard
Like I
for a
worked
goal.
so hard to get there.
Well, hey, at least you and I mean, we get to be part of the Vinci universe with Warhammer Weekly
Yeah.
because I know you're the number one most often guest host. I think I'm top five, if not
Yes.
top three.
You are
I'm
I
up there.
actually did the math recently.
Okay.
You are definitely top 5.
I say top five, I felt comfortable. Top three might be pushing it. There's a couple other perennial guests, but
Yeah. It's like me, you, Martin, and
is it Dino?
Dino, I think, is up
He's
there
up there.
really high.
Yeah.
And then oh my god, Uncle Adam.
Oh, that's
But
true.
Uncle
Yeah.
Adam is like 90% because he's on like the hotel shows from conventions when like it's like a group of people in the background.
Right.
It's like he's always there.
Yeah, because his main show is whenever they release a book together, so it's always
Yes.
yeah.
And
That's
then
fair.
those.
That's fair. Well, I mean, if
I
I
don't he's done like one, I think, that was about Warhammer. and then
Yes.
everything else has been something else.
Well, maybe if I ever make a return to gaming events, the larger ones, maybe I'll start sneaking in and up my numbers a little bit. But I'm okay where I'm at. I feel like I'm Vince's favorite of. I have a fun topic that no one will want to do because everyone else that goes on that show is like, oh man, math this, competitive that. It's like, Chuck, what are you doing? Vibes, baby. I don't know what's going on,
Oh
but
yeah,
I love talking
and
about it. I love Vince. So I will talk to Vince always about anything.
oh yeah, and I feel like I'm a little bit of like Age of Sigmar historian at this point too.
You are, yeah.
Um, that's one of those other things that I do on my channel is just all the weird stuff that has happened in the history of Age of Sigmar at this point because we're like 12 years in or something like that.
Yeah,
Like there's actual history now.
it's crazy too, and like I remember like the stuff I did early in the beginning, and it's just like like you start pushing this wave, but eventually you just gotta just relax. You're in the swells now.
Mhm.
You're past the breaker. Some other young kid has to come take over,
Yeah.
or the people that actually success, like that were consistent enough, like AOS Coach, Two Plus Tough, or Warhammer Weekly. Let them carry the torch, and we'll just float by with a cocktail in our hand and say, hey, what's up, and be on the shows every once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. I've taken stabs a couple of times at being more serious about it and like editing videos and tried doing hobby stuff for a while and like man, like the work involved in like taking it seriously is just not fun. And I've always done YouTube for fun.
Yes,
So
I mean I know
when
we're
stuff stops being fun, I stop doing it.
yeah, and like I said, I don't we're not really off topic, but the videos I enjoyed the most, and because of my current role, I've been way too busy to be able to help out with the U.S. events teams for
Mhm.
Warhammer. Yeah, I've been invited to like they asked me like, hey, can you come to Gen Con? I'm like, I would love to go to Gen Con for free and work, but I was down in Daytona Beach for works for my real job,
Oh,
like not the side
yeah.
job. But I miss doing the vlogs of those. It was like
Yeah.
I think I fell in love. Like I like vlogging, but also too like I don't know if people. I don't feel like doing the effort to vlog every part of my life because that's also weird and intrusive. But
Yeah.
anyway, we should get back on topic. This is a Warhammer
Yes.
Strength Fitness podcast. How is your lawn?
My lawn is actually in very nice shape right now. All the
Yes.
rain we've been getting up here has been good for my lawn. Also in my lawn, I shot you over
Mm-hmm.
a nice picture. I built myself like a nice little fire pit recently.
I
Um,
yeah, it's wonderful. I have lots of extra bricks too. What corrugated size metal did you get?
it was just something that I picked up at I think Lowe's.
Lowe's.
It was
Okay.
like $60. It's like designed for fire
Oh,
pits.
perfect. Okay.
Yeah, and then just dug a hole, threw it in, and put some bricks around it.
It's like 'cause I have the bricks. I might just steal that idea because it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it was like seriously like a couple of hours of work and $60 at home at Lowe's. It was and like my kids love it. We just go out there, you know, in the evening
Make some
once in a
s'mores.
while and
Yep.
toast marshmallows. And I'm sure we're gonna do it a lot more when the weather gets cooler, like in the winter, have like a nice little fire, or not winter, but like in the fall.
Yeah. What I can say, if you need, get some Warhammer friends, play a couple games of Warhammer, sit outside around the fire on a cold autumn night with some whiskey and cigars. Friend Neil,
Ooh,
old host, co-host of the show, did that one night. It was a great time.
yeah. Well, I just had a barbecue
Oh, okay.
at my place where I've got like some table toppers that I made a while ago, so threw out a couple of Warhammer tables, had a picnic table with some magic going on,
Heck yeah.
smoked some ribs and some brisket and hung out. Like, it was just a good time.
Hey, that's why we do these hobbies. It's for friends. The hobby's just a side
Yeah,
piece.
it is an excuse to get together with your friends or go out and make new friends as an adult, which is really awkward sometimes.
It is. It's so weird. Like I have other friends that are not in the Warhammer space, and not that they're awkward or this is making fun of them, but they don't have as many friends as I do,
Yeah.
and it's just because like I have so many friends across this world because of Warhammer. Like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Like having like random friends, like, you know, maybe you haven't met like in person, but like you talk to all the time, that are like in Europe, in Australia, in Canada, like they're all over the place. And like we all end up chatting about more than just Warhammer.
Yeah, we do. It's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, your lawn looks splendid. The pictures are wonderful. I took this right before, actually, I wanted to say I need to go grab a drink before we began. And I
Mhm.
realized we had a storm roll through.
Yep.
And there was a rainbow outside. So it's not my lawn. This is technically my neighbor's lawn, but little picture of the rainbow for you all, everybody, because it was it was beautiful. Wanted to share it. That's all. But
Very nice.
it's also my Instagram, Paul, if you wanted to see it. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I didn't get a chance to send you the picture because I literally took
like,
it and uploaded it and started recording. Like, oh,
yeah, hold on.
/strength hammer.
Yep.
Live react of the rainbow that was at my house.
Yeah. Now I have to actually find you. Hold on.
That's fine. I will
And
shut up.
you know what? I don't know how to Instagram on not the app, so I'm not going to do that right now. I am just going to sit here and I'm going to believe you that it was beautiful.
That's I appreciate that. I do want to say the link to the show I did with Paul a week ago now will be linked down below, where Paul had me on. We were talking about cog forts conversions. It was a great time. Also, if you really want to see, for some reason on my show, I'm more contained on a goal. On Vince's show, I'm very contained on a goal. Paul doesn't care. Paul's so like, you don't get a leash here, and I feel like whoa, we had a good time.
Oh yeah, I have very few rules. Don't get me banned from YouTube is about what it comes down to. Don't get me banned. Don't get me fired from my job. That's about it.
Yeah, that's legitimately the only rules we have here too. So
yeah,
but yeah. Other than that, though, I guess how's your hobby? What hobby? I got some hobby pictures from you here.
Yeah, I've been prepping my army for Nova.
Okay.
I think I've settled on a list. So I've been working on tooling up everything. I'm bringing my crazy Nurgle converted cog fort.
Yep.
It's
gorgeous. It's
gunning
gorgeous.
hard for painting awards. That is what I've really decided like my lane at events is now. I just got what award was it? I had the medal right over there, but the like player's choice or whatever, like the one where people vote on armies.
Oh yeah,
I won that for Ironweld.
I think I call it coolest army for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
so
congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm shooting for painting awards of whatever. I think at Nova it's going to be much stiffer competition. There's a lot more people there.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm going to ship my display board down to one of my friends because I'm going to take the train down. It's one of the nice things about living in the Northeast is that we actually have a functional railway system.
Yeah, they're just not quick. That's the problem, but
yeah, I mean it's about as fast as driving.
But you don't have to drive.
But I don't have to drive. Yeah, and I don't have to think about anything. And I can literally pick up Amtrak in my town, like downtown, and go all the way to DC without changing trains.
Actually, I had a alert pop up because the wife and I we do enjoy New York City. We like traveling there, Long Island, all that sort of area. I can get an Amtrak 2 towns down, free parking.
Yep.
For a little bit less than a plane ticket. And like I said, it's about the same as driving, but I could go right to the heart of New York City. And you're like, oh, well, why don't you just drive? Because technically it's a little quicker to drive, if I'm honest with you, but
yeah,
I'm saving on parking. I'm saving on tolls. Like that's probably like a $500 savings right there, honestly.
Yeah.
So like I think that we might
do that. I don't know if
that.
you've done it before.
Never. I've never done it yet.
I honestly, I really like Amtrak. Like if you're in a place where it's going to get you like from point A to point B that you want, it's actually like it's nicer than flying. Like, I'd rather do Amtrak than get on a plane.
It just depends. Like, yeah, what's your goal? Is it get there quick or just get there? And do you have the time? Like, yeah, like if I'm going to San Francisco, I'm flying. Sorry.
Yeah, right. But like for me, I've thought about flying to DC before, and it's probably like a hour and a half flight for me. But then you have to get to the airport early. You have to, physically get to the airport and then get from the airport to wherever you're going, because the airport's not like airports are always outside of whatever city you're going to.
Yeah, they're
right?
at least they're an hour to an hour and a half probably for most people like myself. I bet.
Yeah. So like once you're all in, it's actually not even that much more of your time to take a train for me for that particular trip.
Right. But no, Nova. I mean that's coming up here. What, less than a month, right? We're
Yeah.
Labor Day weekend's coming up. Oh boy, wow, summer's almost over.
Yeah, I know. The rest of my family very upset about it. I got 2 kids, and my wife's a teacher, so they're all very upset about summer being almost over already.
So when does school start? 22nd for you?
I'm not sure. Usually it's like the week before Labor Day is when they usually start. So they have like a short week, and then another short week, and then full weeks.
Gotcha. So you have a little bit to deal with, and then you go away for a small vacation with your friends for Nova.
Yep, exactly.
I say, well, listen, I love summer. I'm enjoying the summer vibe too. Thankfully I still work. I don't have a teaching job, so I'm like you. I just work all the time. But August seems to be a peak time for me to just chill and vibe. Like if you follow my Instagram, like I'm playing a Japanese game where you're a Japanese boy. I'm playing through Pokemon Green right now. Like it's all like
nice,
low key chill. I don't travel. Like actually right now, like I'm having a nice, lovely giant can of beer. It's very light beer, so don't be alarmed, everybody. This won't go off the rails.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I have a nice light beer here myself.
Ooh, what are you drinking? I'm drinking a Sapporo Premium beer, my favorite Japanese beer.
Ooh, I just have a plain old Heineken.
Heineken, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, let me talk
nice
about
and refreshing.
Exactly. Yeah, it's refreshing. It's about enjoying a drink in the evening, not about getting drunk.
Exactly.
Like I'm not 20 anymore. I don't.
Yeah, I can only imagine how bad a hangover would be at 41. Holy crap! I don't even want to think about it.
I mean, occasionally club nights, I might. Whoops, I had one too many, and I feel it the next day.
Yeah.
But then you don't do it a while. But anyway, we're not drinking podcast in any way, shape, or form. So.
No.
But yeah, no,
you're more health and fitness, which is the opposite of drinking for most people.
Yeah. But no, Nova. So I guess all of your hobby right now is focused towards getting ready for Nova and the rebasing you're doing for your some of your Magickin. Because you're everybody, if you want to see Magickin of Nurgle, go check Paul's content. Paul in general. That's his army.
Yeah,
that's his Daughters of Cain.
I'm at about 23,000 points of Magickin.
Amazing.
Yep, and almost all of it's painted,
which is even better.
Yeah.
So anything else you're working on towards Nova? Like you said, display board sounds like it's ready. Just maybe
Yeah, my display board I've had for like a couple of years now. It was actually a really fun project. My daughter helped me build it and design. She actually helped design it. That was the big thing. Because she is apparently she was like 9 when we were working on it, and like she's somehow more creative than me. At 9 years old, and like just tuned into good ideas, and then we built it together, and it was like a fun little daddy-daughter project, and now it's just coming with me for everything.
Nice.
So I'm mainly I'm rebasing Plague Bearers onto more interesting bases that go more along with the newer basing scheme that I've been working with.
Mm-hmm.
And everything else is just like trying to level up the paint jobs, make everything as nice as I can.
No, well, I look forward to it. And everybody, like Paul, what's your social media of choice? I should ask too. Is it?
I mean, I really just use Facebook for the most part.
Okay.
But I do use Instagram at PMC Math Hammer. that's where I post picture. Like whenever I post anything hobby related, I like post it to Instagram and it like automatically goes to
Oh,
Facebook.
yeah, that's kind of
So
why I'm good with Instagram because it posts to Facebook. But well, everybody check it out.
yeah,
I'll try to remember to link Paul's stuff below, but it'll probably be linked in his videos and stuff. But check it out because he'll be
yeah,
at Nova. That way you can see all the fun of Nova Open if you can't make it.
yes,
All right, so my hobby, as I said, it's a
yes, your hobby.
chill vibe month. Last week I tried some Flames of War finally, which I really enjoyed. Um,
Ooh,
yeah, it was like I kept putting it off. But I'm like, that's really fun. And one of the guys there, I gave him some extra Mornfang from a recent army pickup I had. And he's like, oh,
mhm.
I got extra like Americans or British. Which one do you want? I'm like, surprise me. So I'm gonna get a trade for an army here soon. So I'll have a Flames army I'll be working on in the nearish future. But
Nice.
this week at the local club played Pulp Fiction. Which have you ever heard of that, Paul?
I mean, I've heard of the movie.
Well, it's yeah. Well, yeah, I get it. We call it just pulp too, just in general, but probably because it gets confusing. But imagine the Indiana Jones vibes, the Mummy vibes, that type of vibe of adventure. Like,
Oh,
you know,
that's fun.
yes. So everybody, and like there is like a Indiana Jones force. Like there's obviously like the bad guys, the bad Germans, which I don't know if I can say the word on there without YouTube getting mad at me, so I won't say it. Um,
Yeah, the angry mustache guy
Yes.
people.
Yes. But like just everything, like you like and there's lots of variety. You kind of just theme your army and choose where it belongs. Like you can I could show up with like the guys that attack Aladdin when he's stealing the apple. Like that could be my army. And I'd be like, "Oh, well they're guards, so I'll make them guards and I can like it's really cool. It's very loose, very fun. You need a game master.
Mhm.
It is random. You use playing cards to see who goes first for movement, shooting, all that sort of stuff. And the games could last a couple hours. They could last 20 minutes. Like MacGuffins are MacGuffins. You need to get a MacGuffin type thing. But it's an ongoing progressive story. So I came in, this is the second week, so I jumped in, got to play it. It's one of the coolest, or not Pulp Fiction, sorry. It's called Pulp Adventure. I can see, I already confused it. Pulp Adventure. So everyone,
Yeah, there you
just
go.
Google Pulp Adventure. Um, and check it out. Although to be fair, you could probably figure out how to get a Pulp Fiction army in here, and it would work. You can make almost anything work in this. It's super fun.
Nice.
Um,
And that's like sounds like that's like a mix between like a miniatures game and like role playing game. Is
yes,
that
it's mostly miniature, but our game master, Evil Bob Painting, check him out. He's a local friend. Um, he will reward you for role play.
nice?
So that's why there's only one picture of the board, and there's never going to be a video of this because depending on what army you're playing, that role play may not be kosher. Let's just say that. Anyway, it's a fun time. You know, have a group of just guys who are just gonna have a good time. It's fun. But Pulp Adventure, good times. And like I said, the rewards are re-rolls and stuff like that. So
Nice.
on the more normal hobby, I finished rebasing and took pictures of my new Ogre Kingdoms army.
Beautiful.
Also, this is the first time where I always do like the garden pictures when it's nice. But this is the first time where I
Mhm.
zoomed out enough because they're so big that you can actually see that it's actually a grill that I take these on, like a stone grill, which just works better for the vibe of them.
Yeah, it's a good vibe.
Yeah. So,
Love
um,
it.
I say
Looks really nice.
thank you. Like I can't take credit for any of the painting, other than I put the blood for the blood god into cauldron because I like that better than what the red he used for a flat red. Um, and I
Yeah.
painted one banner that was unpainted, really, and like some silver, but nothing major. So yeah, absolutely thrilled. I've always loved Ogre Kingdoms. Never was able to pull the trigger because it was a daunting force, and this is essentially a rescue from Age of Sigmar. Um,
Yep.
because I think the Iron Blasters were still in, but the gentleman that brought it off of Hunter, from the local club, so friend, cousin, all that stuff. Um, he he was just like, you know what, they're gonna go away. I know they're gonna go away. He didn't need them, and he's playing. He has a beautiful new Night Hunt army he painted up, so he's playing that right now while he rebuilds the ogres, kind of from almost scratch. Like he kept the Mornfang and like, or not Mornfang, the Stone Horns and things like that. So if I was to add anything to this force, it'd be a Stone Horn because that's my favorite kit from this army range. But
Nice.
this is also like 4,000 points of Ogre Kingdoms, so I'm like, well, okay, I don't need anything right now.
Yeah. Yeah, my friend that actually had originally gotten me into Warhammer still has a Warhammer Fantasy Battle based Ogre Kingdoms army. It's really nicely painted. It's just sitting on his shelf. Um, Age of Sigmar happened. It wasn't for him, and he went to Kings of War.
Okay.
But he never rebased that army for Kings of War. It's just been on the shelf the whole time. And I keep trying to be like, you can just play that in Old World, and you could probably pick up Old World after like one game of it.
Oh
right?
my gosh, yeah.
Like if you're like, he played Warhammer Fantasy for years and years. He plays Kings of War actively. Like you can pick up Old World real easy, but we're still working on the convincing. I think he's one of the folks that might be a little bit mad at GW. So
I mean that is understandable. A lot of people were, but hey, it's gonna be okay. Yeah, I hope he gets back into it because like Old World is a great game. I haven't played the ogres yet because I was gonna play. I rebased them thinking, oh, I'm gonna go to club night and take my ogres and play my first game, and then we were playing Pulp Adventure, and we're doing that for the next 3 weeks. So I'm like, I don't know when I'm gonna play these ogres, but hey, it's fine. They're ready to go whenever.
Yeah, they're good to go.
Yeah, the hard part right now is, man, I've been dragging my feet. I have these 30 blood hags behind me that are like 25% done. Really just need to get my butt in gear and start painting them and get them done, and then move on to the other bits of pile I have here. Not much, but I feel bad that I've been languishing on these Daughters of Cain, my beloved army.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I in prepping for the show tonight, I pulled out my whole Empire army.
Yeah, actually,
for Old World.
I'll bring up the picture right now. I got it right here.
Yeah. And I realized just how much paint work that I need to do on that. And I think what I'm going to do is like, I don't think I'm going to like really, not that I'm not going to try hard on the paint jobs, but I'm going to be a lot more casual about that and be more about like just getting it done and getting it on the tabletop and having it be like a fun side project. Because I mean, I don't think I'm ever, I don't see myself playing in an Old World tournament. So it's just really to have painted models on the table.
If I was, I apologize. I know you live
Connecticut.
North of me, Connecticut. Okay, I wasn't sure if it's, I didn't want to say Massachusetts, but okay, Connecticut.
Well, I'm like this close to Massachusetts.
Okay,
I'm like 2 towns away. Yeah.
All right, gotcha. The best, like, there's some Old World events over in Ohio, but the best event that's gonna be closest to you is a square-based event that Val runs from the Square-Based podcast. I've gone to 2 of them. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it this year. It's usually in November, so sometimes it's close to Thanksgiving, which is the hard part because it's Canada. It's not the same Thanksgiving, but
yeah,
I have never not had a great time at every Old World event I have ever been to. I've gone like 3-2 is my best record. I've gone 0-5, and every single time I'm having a good time chatting with everybody. Doesn't matter where you're at in the tables. It's like, oh, well, this is so cool. This army is awesome. Or like, oh, why'd you bring this? Why'd you bring this? Well, what's your goals? Hanging out. Like, heck, I actually the one I went 0-5 at which was the last square based, because I just took a witch elf horde because it works in Sigmar. Well, it used to work in Sigmar. I was like, does it work in Old World? No, it does not. It might now with Renegade. I think Val fixed them. Maybe. Actually, I've messaged Val on this. He overtuned witch elves. Like, they're really good now, and I think. Well, I think the reason is there's only one asshole in the world that has so many that cause a problem, and it's me. I legit, like, every time you see it, like, oh, everyone has like, oh, they have 12, they have maybe 10 witch elves, maybe 18's a huge number. I'm like, okay, yeah, here's like 100.
Yeah.
Like, anyway,
yeah, I have that problem with like Nurgle stuff. If anything ever becomes like grossly undercosted, like, it's all over.
Yeah, you're the problem. You're like, I'm going to do this.
I will be the problem. I mean, I have 120 plastic plague bearers. I have like 8. God. Yeah, and then probably another 80 to 100 metal ones.
If we ever could find a middle meeting ground and just take all of my witch elves versus like all of my daughters of Cain and like whatever I can muster, I might have to pull because I put stuff back in Old World. I might have to bring some back out to match your points at this point. But just our army versus army for a weekend.
That would be good.
Yeah,
that would be a lot of fun.
Just be a spectacle. But
yeah, and I think I have like I'm at almost 100 Blight Kings too.
Nah.
my brain, I literally have more stuff than I can field.
My brain went 100. I'm like, oh, that's a lot. And you said, and I was like, oh, I registered Blight Kings. Then after that, I'm like, oh my god,
it's ridiculous.
It is. But anyway, this Empire army looks wonderful, and I just want to encourage you and everybody. Like, I have never gone to a Old World event I ever regretted going to.
Yeah,
it's Age of Sigmar, early 2.0 chill vibes from everybody. There is the only time I saw any people being somewhat sweaty was the last game on the top table, and the TOs were standing right there to make sure everything was worked through okay, and they weren't being sweaty towards each other. It wasn't about like, oh, you can't do that, you can't do that. They're just like, I think I can do this based upon the rules from what I'm attempting to do, and they had to piece through it. But it was like, I think I can do this, not he can't do that or she can't do that. So
yeah, I discovered very recently that there's apparently a really big Old World scene in one particular store in Connecticut. They had an RTT, like one-day tournament with more than 20 people at it.
That's crazy. Wow.
I didn't even know that these people existed.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's just like one store in the middle of Connecticut where the whole area just flocks there, and then like there's no other RTTs anywhere else to be found.
Hey, go thrive, go enjoy. But
yeah,
this picture here, we haven't even got to the news yet, which we'll get there eventually. That's probably gonna be at the end of the show. Everybody, don't worry about it. But tell me about your army. Like this is a cool looking army. Like it's the red and blue. That's the Altdorf theme, I assume, right? If I recall.
I think so. I think it's Altdorf.
I think so. Yeah.
So that was my first army in Warhammer Fantasy before Age of Sigmar. And then it got all rebased to be Free Guild, and you'll see if you look closely, there's still a lot of round bases in there.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Need to get rebased, but got rebased to be Free Guild, and then that became Cities of Sigmar, and then Cities of Sigmar gave all of that stuff the boot, and now I briefly toyed with the idea of running it all as like counts as current Cities of Sigmar stuff, and then I'm like, I don't even really like this army anymore, so like I now have an Old World army. That's what I have. And so I started rebasing everything, and I just picked up a couple of other things that were missing from, that I had just gotten rid of as they came out of the Age of Sigmar range. Like I had to buy more knights. I picked up a box of Pistoliers and Outriders because I didn't have them. Cannons went out a long time ago, so I picked up one of the cannon kits. So just kind of fill everything out. I think I have like a dozen demigriffs or something like that.
Which is crazy.
So,
and I'll caution you, they're not the strongest army out there, but they are beautiful every time you field them. Like a strong looking painted cities, Empire Man army is just gorgeous. That's what got me hooked into Warhammer before I knew what Warhammer was seeing it was white and red themed Empire army, and I was 12 or 13. I had a birthday party at a local hobby store for Magic the Gathering, and I kept catching myself at this table watching this game, having no idea what it was till later in life.
Yeah, I really don't care about it being a strong army or not. I enjoy the aesthetic of it. I enjoy the general vibes of it. I like that it's like the thing that got me to that army to begin with is that it's like this jack of all trades, master of none kind of army. Like it has a little bit of everything available to it, and it can be pretty decent at everything. And it's more about how you bring it all together.
Now, my question for you is, because you're obviously good at rebasing. You need to rebase some of these as you go. How are you
Yep.
rebasing it? Are you using 8th edition sizes, or are you going to old world sizes?
Old world sizes.
Okay. I would now a lot of the stuff you have on squares right now, is that old world sizes?
Yes, it's
Okay.
all old world.
Okay. Then I say if you've done that, great. If you hadn't had anything on squares yet, I would say go 8th edition sizes.
Really?
Only because it's easier the and listen, this is part of the show. Everybody's bringing on Paul, like he's not as affluent with old world as a culture for a game
Yeah.
system yet. Like, because he's gonna jump in after this. Don't worry. Um,
Oh yeah.
I say since you've already started and bulk of it's there, keep going to old world. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
But I tend to rebase when I'm rebasing to unless I'm doing a brand new army. Like I did a brand new high elf
Mhm.
army. I did all old world basing. But
Yep.
I'm not rebasing my old stuff because culturally within the old world space and scene, even at official GW events, even though you can't use all the armies, um, the base adapter trays are 100% accepted by everybody. And
Yeah.
it would allow you to play if you want to play an older version of the game ever, because even I want to play some of the, I've never played 5th or 6th and I heard they're great. I want to play them.
Yeah.
However, it's not that big a deal because you could technically even play old world basing against 8th edition basing, and we're adults, we can figure it out.
Yeah. And it's not mathematically that much different that it's really going to matter, especially if you're being casual about the game. Like if you're at a very competitive GT, like the slight math differences could matter.
If you're at a competitive GT, you're using the base adapters if you need them anyway.
Yeah.
If you're going to a competitive 8th edition tournament, I don't think anyone's going to go to that if that exists, if I'm honest with you. I went to it right before Old World released. It was the first square based, and it was the biggest laugh of our lives because we all knew what we were going to. We all knew the bullshit we were bringing, and we all anticipated it. It was so fun. But no, you're fine to go Old World basing. I would say, especially if you started that. So
Yeah.
now, what else for old? Like, what's your overall goal for old world within a year's time? Is it to just get this army rebased and maybe play a game or two? Is it to actually try that RTT? Like, what's a bigger goal for you that you could kind of
Honestly, I just want to have
just...
another. I just want to have another game system that I can get games in with. Go to RTTs once in a while. I don't see myself like if I'm going to a big event, I'm going to be playing Age of Sigmar, right? If I'm going to Nova, if I'm going to whatever other convention GT situation, like if there's old world there's also going to be Age of Sigmar, and I'm going to play Age of Sigmar.
No,
So
I get that 100%.
It's going to be my casual, fun hobby project game, and it very beer and pretzels vibes.
I would recommend build a battle march list.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the skirmish style. That's our. It's not spearhead. You're still playing the full game, full rule set. It's just scaled down better because they're like, oh well, let's have a game you can play quickly, but still the actual game. And you can go to Old World Builder, build it there. It gives you all the rules, but have that as your rebasing goal because you can go and get 2 or 3 games in a night at a local club with that. So that would be a great place to start. And you also will learn the full rules. It's not spearhead. Like I said, you're not just learning half the rules. You're learning everything. You just don't have to deal with the nonsense.
I have gotten some games in. I have gotten in some games of Old World already.
Oh, good.
So I'm familiar with the rules. I just fell off just before there was like that big FAQ where like I know suddenly infantry went from being really bad to really good.
Yeah.
And probably some other changes. Like I'm very much like my knowledge of Old World rules is very like the first like year and a half of the game existing or so.
What I would recommend, I'll send you a link to it after this too. If you look at Bears, BAIRS, Old World, like cheat sheet, I think you Google that, you can find it. And I can send you a link if you can't find it, but it has all the rules from that FAQ. So because a lot of those rules from the FAQ are more about how do I win combats? How many can attack? That FAQ that you mentioned, like a while ago now, was a major one, but it did positive stuff. Everyone was like, "This is great, we love it, wonderful." There was zero complaints I heard from it. They just did another FAQ that wasn't as groundbreaking for the game, but it
Hmm.
was. They're doing better at tuning. Like they're actually changing points. They are adapting rules to
Oh,
make more sense. They are making good strategic moves. They're being that like classic conservative GW, not doing it right away. Let it play out for 6 months. But they're like,
yeah.
okay, this is clearly a problem. And what I appreciate is one, the sass that we sometimes get in the FAQs when it's worthwhile, but also their changes aren't always exactly what you'd expect because you're really used to Age of Sigmar. So, oh, hey, something's out of balance. Change the points. Change the points. There has been very few points changes in Old World. There has been, but usually it's
Mhm.
a rules adjustment because we have all the crunchy rules to play with.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more nuance of what we can adjust with. And then there's other things coming out, like the new Battle Tome Arcane Journal, which is part of the news we'll talk about here in a little bit. It's going to add a new layer that's optional that
Mhm.
could really change how things work, but in a very fun, positive way. And it's not necessarily making you have to rethink how you play the game. It's just rethinking how you do one aspect of it.
And now, if I'm remembering correctly, are they did it already come out? There's like a new version of the core rule book that's like incorporating all of the existing FAQs and erratas into it.
Yes, yes. That has been out for 2 weeks now. So if you went on to buy
Okay.
one right now, it would be that. Um, but everything that's new in there is in the FAQs. In that Battle March, they actually released the basics of it for free as a PDF.
Oh, that's cool.
I bought the new book, but it's more just because I'm collecting everything for this game. Didn't need it per se, but yes, they incorporated everything, including the latest FAQ. So any changes post this will be probably somewhat minimal. I don't think we're going to see any major sweeping changes to the game until we get to a new edition, which
Yeah. Doesn't seem like they're interested in.
I think they will be, but I don't think I think it's going to be like one of those edition changes where it's minimal changes. Like
Yeah.
everything just still kind of works. It's not going to be, oh, hey, we have to index everybody because we've screwed it up so bad that the core rules don't work and make sense anymore.
Yeah. And I think the like if they're repacking and re-releasing the core rules with like integrated FAQs, like that tells me that's they're not publishing that to have it be good for a year,
Right.
right? Like that's probably going to be around for 2-3 years or something like that before they make another major change.
Yeah, I mean, there was hopes that we would see everything shift to a 4 year cycle, which I think 40K and Sigmar desperately need to give those rules writers a break and a chance to actually be creative.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's happening. They might still be on a 3 year cycle and they just kind of slip in Old World with Horus Heresy when they feel like it. It's like, okay, sure, it's fine, but
Yeah. I would much rather see like a 4 or 5 year cycle for AOS and get like arcane journals and narrative supplements and things like that in the interim. And like we have this like Scourge of Gyran, Scourge of Akshi technology now
yeah, but that
that
could that
like
could be an
is keeping
arcane
the game
that could be Arcane
fresh.
Journal. That could be an Arcane Journal.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad they're giving it to us for free.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong, but like you could Arcane Journal that regularly. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Arcane Journal is such a better system. It's the perfect balance between current modern GW and the old classic GW, where it's like way too quick and way too long. This is just touches here and there. Yeah. Plus, also they're $28 in 2026. I'm buying rules for $28. What?
Yeah.
I have bought
I,
every single old world arcane journal, even if I don't play the army, because something might help me somewhere. And in Age of Sigmar, I've bought the Daughters of Cain stuff and the Cities of Sigmar basic because I went to an event with that. Other than that, I'm not buying a single other book unless it's narrative driven. Which even then, I will buy it. I probably won't appreciate it because it's probably gonna be so like milk toast it doesn't matter. Like I'm gonna be honest with you.
yeah. Oh, you know what? Speaking of Cities of Sigmar, um, you might actually know the answer to this question.
Sure.
Do you have the card deck of the War Scroll card deck?
No, I just bought the basic battle tome. because I use my app mostly.
Okay. I've been trying to find out if the Cogfort Regiment of Renown War Scrolls are in that or not. Because I would like to try and acquire them, but I don't even know if they exist. So,
Understandable. If anybody out there that's watching this knows, please leave a comment and tag Paul. Because I have no idea.
Yeah. I would much rather use like the War Scroll cards than like my phone to like have the rules in front of me.
Yeah, especially for something like that. That would be more ideal.
Yeah. So, anywho, tangent aside, back on track.
Yeah. Well, Old World, I hope you play some games. It would be fun to see that army in full. I know if you're going to Nova, if you're going to NashCon, if you're going anywhere else, like you're playing a Age of Sigmar, I get that. But go to a local event. Go to maybe even like a Square Base is not that far for you. I would highly recommend that too. And if I go when I do go next to Square Base, maybe I'll message you like, hey, do you want to crash in the hotel? Figure that out.
Yeah, that's in like Toronto area, right?
Yeah, it's Toronto area. And shout out to Val. He finally managed to put it not next to the Toronto or not at the same time as the Toronto Marathon.
Oh, yeah, I can see that being a problem.
Yeah, but it was fine. We figured it out. But let's shift a little bit of fitness because you have a unique experience.
Yes,
you want to share. So I have a couple pictures here, and I wasn't sure how you felt, so I did just kind of take a little marker and scratch out the young one's face. I'm sure she's older now.
Oh,
I know.
Yeah, that's fine. I wouldn't have sent it to you if I didn't. I know if I was concerned about it, because I knew you'd be putting it up. But yeah, I probably weight loss journey started probably around 5 or 6 years ago.
So right during COVID. Yep.
Yep. I struggled with being overweight my whole life, basically. Steadily, just after college, just was like steadily gaining weight forever, basically. Got up to about 320 pounds. That's around the before picture that is over there.
Yep.
And then got bariatric surgery. I did sleeve gastrectomy, and then unfortunately like didn't lose as much as I wanted to from that and gained some back. Then went back, had a second surgery, did the gastric bypass, which is a lot more aggressive of a surgery than the sleeve is.
Is that the one where they kind of like remove some of the stomach? Where they just staple it? Or like
the sleeve is where they remove part of your stomach.
Okay.
The bypass is where they literally basically almost take your esophagus and plug it into your intestines.
Oh.
They like it's literally bypassing your stomach.
Wow. Okay.
It makes it so that you can eat very little, and it goes. They hook it into your intestines like, I don't know how far through, but it's not at the start, so that you have less calorie absorption as well after you like, even though you're eating less, you're even like absorbing less of the calories because it's not hitting your digestive tract in the same way.
Gotcha. Okay.
But now I am down in total about 110 pounds.
Yeah. This after picture's amazing.
Yeah. I am at just about the lowest weight that I have ever been as an adult. I feel fantastic. You know, I know there's a lot of stuff now with like the GLP-1s and other medications and stuff. You know, I know people are afraid of the surgical options. And they, you know, if you don't have insurance that covers it or doesn't cover all of it, it's expensive, obviously. Right. Thankfully, my wife's a teacher, got great insurance. So for me, it was taken care of. But, you know, it's I know there's a lot of people, you know, just, you know, in general, a lot of people struggle with weight, and and particularly there's a lot of folks in the wargaming hobby that I don't mean this as a criticism of people, but like, listen, we've got a reputation of being larger folks.
It's generally nerdy culture. Like you and I, our ages growing up, that was kind of the norm of that societal structure. Not all of it, but the norm. But yeah, but times have been changing, which has been great. There's a lot more people.
Yes.
A lot of fitness people out there, like enjoying Warhammer, growing that, and there's a lot of services out there. But it's not that's not the only way, and there is times where, like with you, you needed to take that
Yeah.
more aggressive route, and it's working now.
Yeah. And yeah, I highly recommend it for people. Like if you've tried dieting, if you are unable to get access to the other weight loss medications for whatever reason, whether it be your insurance doesn't cover it, you can't get a doctor to prescribe it, you can't afford it.
You have to be wary of them too, because they came in so hot and fast that like it feels like a fly by night roofer after a storm. Like I don't know which ones are good or bad. I know I've seen a few people out there in my timeline that are using it to good effect, which is kudos to them. And if it works, it works. But
oh yeah,
but like I don't know if they're all good.
I have a friend that lost over 100 pounds on it.
Yeah, and like all throughout that too. Like, but you've become more active during that. Like you're like, okay, well, you're going to move more. You've made a way for you to physically eat less. Because like let's be honest, if you want to lose weight, everybody move more, eat less.
Yeah,
and
one of the barriers for me was I was so overweight that getting that physical activity at all was so difficult. Like it just became such a ridiculous barrier to even get started. But now I have like the tool of the surgery. I got a lot of weight loss from the surgery. Now I can be a lot more physically active in a much more comfortable and easy way to continue it. Right? Like I don't get tired going up and down stairs anymore. I don't get tired playing with my kids anymore.
Well, yeah, you built a little fireplace without any hassle. Like heck, before we started, you're just like, I'm gonna hit the restroom real quick. You sprinted up the stairs. Could you do that when you were 320?
Yeah. No.
There you go.
No, I couldn't. And this is actually I'm going to Disney World next week.
That's a lot of steps.
And it's going to be my first time going to Disney since since my second surgery. So, first time going to Disney at like still technically on the BMI chart, still just barely in obese territory, but being in good shape for me.
Yeah.
Right. I am really excited for how much more I'm going to be able to enjoy there, because that's something that like, we do almost every year is go to Disney World. We're one of those crazy families that just like,
you're Disney people.
We're Disney people. Life has come together in the right way for us that
we can be Disney people.
Do it. We can.
Yeah.
It's, so life's been good to us. We've made some good decisions and gotten lucky, and so we can do that. And
always
I'm really excited for going and just like not feeling like I'm dead at the end of the day.
I remember, and I'm not. He's a known person in the Warhammer space, so I'm not going to shout him out because I don't know how much of this story he shared on any of his content, but he also had reached out to me. This was like early my strength hammer stuff. Like I was going to CrossFit and all this stuff. And that's when I was really like tuning in, like, and learning my body, like before I became like more intuitive eating. Like it was like tracking, focus, all this sort of stuff. And they asked me, and their reason was because they go to Disney regularly with their family, and they wanted to be able to ride the rides with their kids. And you know what?
Yeah.
I said like, hey, here's some basic advice, because to be fair, I'm not one of those guys out there that's going to have, I'm not going to give you nutrition. If you want me to help you make a lifting program, I can help you make a basic lifting program. That's not hard. You go to the gym for 5 years, you're like, I can do that in my sleep. That's, to be fair, you don't need to pay anybody to do that. If you need to pay somebody for tracking consistency or nutrition, I understand that. But I gave some basic stuff, and I encouraged him to go to a nutritionist, and I think he did, because it was a year later he was doing that, and he was having the time of his life. So,
Yeah.
that's the other things you got to remember with like the fitness. Like sometimes it's like me, like I want to lift some heavy ass shit. Well, that was now my goal is to be consistent with my wife because she's going to the gym with me, so I'm not lifting as heavy, but I'm lifting consistently with her. Um, and sometimes it's to be jacked and as six pack ripped as possible. And sometimes it's just be able to go walk 30,000 steps at Disney and hang out with your kids and be able to enjoy yourself. That, you need to know what your goals are, and they don't have to be what Instagram will always tell you. Because trust me, I have body dysmorphia. People are like, oh man, Chuck, you look really good. I'm like, yeah, but I feel fat as fuck because of the people
Yeah.
I am looking towards as motivation. But even then, they're not shoving it. It's all good. I'm in a healthy space with it, but like, it does rear its head on
Yeah.
occasion.
Yeah. What I, anyone that is out there that is, struggling with weight or is overweight and is not sure what to do about it. What I will say is, in general, you don't realize how much you're struggling until you lose the weight and your life changes and you're like, oh, this doing X doesn't hurt anymore.
Yeah.
Doing Y doesn't make me tired anymore. A few weeks ago went to the Iron Weld GT, and it was one of the first events that, or actually it wasn't one of the first, but like, I haven't been to that many GTs since like the most of the weight loss. And like just a simple thing that like my after day one, after day two, my back didn't hurt, my feet didn't hurt, like I just
huge stuff.
felt like I could keep going.
Yeah. Well, I know, like my wife and I, we're excited. We're going to Japan next year. That's our goal. We're gonna walk miles every day. Like she's like, I'm glad I'm going to the gym now because I'll be ready enough for it. Like we're still gonna hurt ourselves, but like you know, the healthier you are, the more you can move, the more you move, the more you can enjoy life.
Yeah.
So that's always the encouraging thing. But like I'm glad it's working for you. Like I said, it's I think
Yeah.
you're the only person I know that's gone through the surgery end. Most people I know have gone through just, nutrition and discipline. A few people through the Ozempic, whatever it is now. I forget. Yeah, the GL1s. And then, like, but you're the only one that's successfully done it. And, like, I wouldn't look at you and say you've had negative side effects. Now, maybe you've had some stuff along the way. And if you're looking to get this surgery, possibly, I would say message Paul directly. I'm sure he'll be more eager to share some of the maybe not great stuff to share on YouTube. Yeah, the challenges.
Yeah, there's challenges.
I'm sure there has to be when you're doing that with your body.
Yeah, like you're making an extreme unnatural change to your body that is very much permanent, not reversible. It's a big commitment to do. It changes things about how your digestive system works permanently. Some of which I'm still trying to figure out, to be totally honest. But the negative side effects of things are so worth it compared to the other options. Like, I've had sleep apnea for a long time, and like I've got a new sleep study scheduled to see if I still need a CPAP, because I think I probably don't anymore.
Also, anytime I've bulked, whether it's, and it could be muscle, it could be fat. If I am over 220, I snore. It just always. And like my goal, and actually now I'm like 219, 220, I'm hovering around there, so I haven't been snoring, which is great. So like let me push it a little bit more, get down to 215, just to give myself some wiggle room for like fun and vacation time. But like it's weight is part of your body. You need to learn, because there's a comfortable weight for everybody, and sometimes comfortable weight it could be 95 pounds, it could be 110 pounds, it could be 220 pounds, like me. It all depends on what you're doing, how you're doing it. A friend, World's Strongest Warhammer, his comfortable weight is bigger than me, but you know what? He looks damn good, and he seems comfortable, happy with it. So I don't know what his weight actually is, because he'd probably tell me in stones, and I'm American and I'm dumb. So he will message me after this. He's like, I weigh this much in stones. I'll be like, damn it, now I need to translate this.
Yeah, and the thing to remember with that too is that like muscle is so much more dense than fat is.
Yes.
So like that's where like the BMI chart just like breaks when you start getting muscular. Like that doesn't mean anything
Yeah,
anymore.
I'm obese. I'm not obese,
Yeah,
but I'm technically obese by the BMI. Don't never use BMI. It's terrible.
yeah, yeah. It's a good like yardstick if you are not muscular. I
Right.
think it good for a general like you can point to a chart and be like you have a problem, right?
Yeah. If you're not
But
active,
once you get close to being in a healthy place, it's like it stops making sense.
yeah, yeah. I think like it's if you're not active, it helps show if you're overweight or underweight. Honestly,
Yeah.
based upon that. But outside that, but if you're active, you're going to learn so much more than that chart will ever teach you. And also the other thing I'll say too, um, I'm very thankful. My PCP, um, he power lifts.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, he's stronger than me. I'll tell you that much. But that means whenever he sees me, he looks at me. He's like, okay, Chuck lifts. Chuck does this. He's physical. He does all this sort of stuff. I know what to look for, or he knows what to look for within me that could be signs.
Yeah.
More so than a normal doctor who would look at me and be like, oh, you're really overweight. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like tell me if my blood pressure's high. Like, sure, like I'm not active, like like that you could tell me that, but like other stuff, it's like, oh, we need to lose some weight. Like, no, I really don't. I know where I'm comfortable with weight. I don't need to lose another 80 pounds because you told me to. But yeah, that's extreme. I'm sorry, but
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, but no, thank you
Yeah.
for coming on to share that. Have you done any shows on your channel where you've gone more in depth on it that we could point people to?
I have not. Honestly, I probably should. It's I don't know. Like after doing it, like I have had conversations with a lot of other people, um, people that don't like aren't even aware that the surgical options exist or that they're not crazy extreme things.
Yeah.
Um, like the just like simple things that like that it's become so common, so routine that like the surgical risk factor, it's like one of the safest surgeries you can get. Like
Yeah.
the risk of complications is extremely low.
I'm sure it's like mostly like laparoscopic now too.
Oh
Like
yeah,
it's like getting your appendix
I
out.
literally,
Like, yeah.
yeah, I was out of the hospital in 24 hours.
That's crazy good. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like, and that's from 24 hours from arrival to leave.
Wow.
Not even like 24 hours after the surgery.
Well, hey, there you go. Yep,
Yeah,
I think you should put it out there. Like I'm always a fan of not locking yourself into a niche. But there's also why you and I don't make money off YouTube because we don't do that.
Yeah, well,
Oh well. Anyway, let's check out some news.
Yes,
we got a little bit of
news. Almost an hour into the show, and we haven't even hit news yet.
Hey, we're just winging it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. So first up, I have
it out.
rumor engine from the 4th of August.
Yeah.
Now, I have seen pictures online that this exact snake exists on Croak's base already. This snake wing Quetzalcoatl thing.
Yeah. It is not exactly the same as what's on Croak's
Okay,
base.
it's not? Okay. I didn't look that deep.
Yeah,
okay.
I did the side by side. I was like, it couldn't be. They couldn't have done that. Like,
Yeah.
no, it's definitely like the same species of thing, but it's painted differently. It's posed a little bit differently. It's definitely supposed to be the same thing. It's painted in the same general scheme, but the actual like arrangement of the stripes is different.
Right. So I don't think they're doing rumor engines really for a lot of old world stuff. And since lizardmen are still legends, we think this has to be Seraphon, you think? What do you think it is? Like, I guess we know it's Seraphon. What do you think it is?
Yeah. I wonder if it's something like another named Slan.
Okay.
Or something like that. It looks like it's something that is on an elaborate base of something important. Like that's not going to be on the base of normal foot troops.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just checking this to make sure I get the name right. I think Seraphon. I think this is going to be the push to get rid of the last of the stuff that is old world related, because GW is clearly doing that. They're getting rid of it from Sigmar, redoing it, and we're gonna get the old world stuff back in full. We know that.
Yeah, I'm really leaning toward that now myself. Like,
yeah.
It seems like they're trying to purge it all from AOS, and it's all almost gone.
Yeah, and the last stuff that's left is
open them up.
So we got. I mean, there's some king stuff, but like that's easy to redo. But I think a Stegodon or a Carnosaur. I think it's going to be. I agree with you. It's going to be a big beast. I'm going to lead towards the Stegodon new kit, whatever it may be. Not necessarily a Stegodon, but what replaces the Stegodon?
Yeah,
because like
the Bastiladon, maybe
that was a dual kit, wasn't it? I think, or no, it wasn't.
No, it was the Bastiladon and Engine of the God, or no, the Stegodon and Engine of the Gods was one, and then Bastiladon and something else.
The altar of Hotek, like it was the snakes coming out of it. Yeah, I think it's gonna replace the Stegodon, because I think Stegodon might still be metal, or it was for a bit. I don't know. I need one. I love that. I need that kit, so I need to buy a Stegodon before it goes away.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it's probably going to be something like that, like a new Slon, new Dino, something big.
Yep. I agree.
I hope that it's not just a fancy base on another dumb foot hero that we don't need.
Some skink on foot.
Yeah, skink riding a snake.
All right, next up, because we're on the Strength Hammer podcast, we're stands of Middle Earth strategy battle game. That's so hard to say. Sorry. It's the best game that I play once a year. Actually, it's usually during Nova. My friend Matt, Big M, he runs a Doors of Durin event where we just get together, have about like 8 of us, and we just play Middle Earth for some fun prizes. But the new made to order line coming out, so I have Galadriel, but I don't have badass full power mode Galadriel. So I'm waiting. These are coming eventually, they said, but I would love to have this model. She's my favorite character from the series.
Yeah, I still have never even like watched a game of Middle Earth. So I have no idea. Maybe I should check it out. I know there's some people in the general area that play it.
It's so fun. It's the best game none of us play. I think it's better than I'm gonna get railed in the comments by the 3 people that watch this show. I think it's better than Mordheim.
Oh.
As a game system, not post. I like all the extra stuff that Mordheim has, where it's after the game, but game itself, this is better than Mordheim.
Interesting.
Yeah. But also you get the
little... It's not like a full scale army game, right?
You can scale it up. You can scale it up pretty big. I would say it's probably, you could get the same size as a Sigmar army, but you don't have like you have a hero that's great, but it's not like on a huge dragon. It's Elrond on a horse. You're like, oh my gosh, watch out. Elrond on a horse?
Yeah.
Like, calm down, bro.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I might be buying some of this. I have a small Lothlorien force that I would love to expand to be a full-size force for that event, so we'll see. And there's also some dwarves. That's cool. Dwarves are cool. We all love dwarves. So check that out. I just wanted to make sure that's obvious. But let's get back to the old world.
Yes.
Sunday preview. So at the time of this being out, this is already beyond pre-order. So we release this show on Mondays, but we're recording on a Friday. So tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, I will be pre-ordering some of this. So, Paul, you're not a Chaos player in the old world. But what do you think of this dragon? I gotta get your opinion.
I am so conflicted on this dragon. I think in a lot of ways it is really cool. I think it's because they had to get it on a certain size base for the old world, I think it ended up getting a little bit of a weird pose, at least from the angles that I have seen it.
I would rather see a side angle, but then you're
Yeah,
only seeing one wing and then the heads. And the heads really
right.
blend into the body, like with these paint styles. So I think this is a
Yeah,
better kit than what these paint jobs and positions show us. Like, I
yes.
think it's gorgeous.
Um, yeah, it looks really cool in general. Um, I'm tempted to get one just to paint it,
You
just for fun.
you could fit it in your Nurgle army somewhere.
Yeah, or even, I mean, I also have a Slaves to Darkness army,
Oh,
so
perfect. Yeah. But yeah, you're going to see
yeah.
this in Sigmar. You're going to see this in Old World. You're going to see this everywhere because it's so cool. And it's also, I think it's priced similar to Archeon. I think it's as big as
Mhm.
Archeon from Sigmar, which is crazy.
Yeah, I'm wondering how big that base is.
That base
That's
that's going to be the same as the what's it called? The giant from Cathay. Let me look it up here real quick. Because I know it's weird. Like whenever you get used to squares, you just kind of know what the sizes are. Like you're like, I know it's the same as this thing. So Old World, Grand Cafe. Scroll down to the big boy, Cafe and Sentinel. And read more. He's on 100 by 150 millimeter base. So I guarantee you, that's exactly what this dragon's on. Because there's no bigger base they have in Old World. And it looks exactly like
yeah,
it should, especially next to the 32 by 32.
yeah. So it might be a little bit too big for what I would want to do with it.
Could be.
Because part of me, I have so I briefly had a Warriors of Chaos Old World army
Okay.
that I just decided like I wasn't really feeling it. I played it a few times. It just like wasn't quite right for me. So it all kind of got folded into my Slaves to Darkness army. But I had made a Chaos Dragon out of what is it, Ionis?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like threw a Chaos guy on him and a bunch of bits, and made a dragon out of that, and then was able to rebase it so and play it as a demon prince in AOS.
Gotcha. This is gonna be
I think it's too big for the 60 millimeter base for a demon.
this is bigger than Kairos. So yes.
Yeah. So I could use it for something.
I mean, you could a Glockkin type thing, if you want to do it for your
Yeah.
Nurgle specifically. But yeah, you could figure out something like, or it could just be Archeon. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be almost as big as Archeon,
Yeah.
but still gorgeous kit. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
there's also the Old World Champions of Chaos, which I love. Man, I'm so glad they brought these back for all the old stuff too. The kit of one BSB, one hero on a horse. Like you could like this BSB on a horse, BSB on foot, but you just make a couple champions. Um,
Yep.
now these definitely you will see these in Slaves of Darkness armies. These are better than the Slaves of Darkness characters. Sorry.
Yeah, I honestly may pick them up.
Yeah. Like if you play
Specifically
Chaos,
those.
just buy them. The new Chaos Warriors, which I'm a fan of. I love the
Yeah.
old ones. I love the Sigmar ones, and I love what these ones are because it's like we have like a whole transition line, a whole Pokemon evolution. We
Yep.
got Marauders, which is the baby form. This is the first form. Then we evolve, and we keep going.
Yeah, and like that we have like those three different options of aesthetic for Warriors of Chaos / Slaves to Darkness army. Because I think the old sculpts are still like they still hold up. They still look good.
Yeah, they're fine. They're static, but they're fine. That's what my Slaves of Darkness army is. It's all the old static ones.
Yeah.
And before you ask,
And
no,
then
I don't want to move them back to Old World because I don't care that much.
Yeah. And then for Old World, that I know from experience, like the AOS warriors do fit on the 30 millimeter squares and rank up.
Yeah, the increased base sizes has helped us steal a lot of stuff from Sigmar.
Yeah.
Of course, the knights. I have heard, on good authority, that these knights are, and actually all this stuff is not hard to build because like there's a nightmare with the Cathay stuff. It's overcut, I feel, but these are like 3 or 4 pieces per model.
Oh, nice.
It's a lot of painting, but it's easy to assemble.
Yeah, there is so much trim on those guys. Oh my goodness.
I think it's a good reason why these are all just one silver color mostly.
Yeah.
And then there'll be the Battle March armies, which sure. I don't know. They seem fine. I don't know if they're going to be the best values, but we'll see when I don't know what the prices are going to be, but Battle March is fun, and if you want to start an army, it's probably a good option to start with if you can't find an older starter set.
Yeah. So that Arcane Journal March of Chaos, is that the Battle March rules?
So no, Battle March rules came out prior with the new book because they're in the new book and they're also free as PDFs on download section.
Got it.
This is what I will be buying. There's 2 things I'm buying from this set. This is not rules for these new models. Maybe the dragon, something like that. But maybe some of them have some new rules. But essentially, this is Chaos finally marching from the north. The push has begun. We're starting the final, not the final, but we're starting the initial stages of going to the Battle of Prague, which is kind of the story we're leading to with where we're at in the timeline. But what this does is adding in some new rules for magic as extra layers to add in. And I think some of them will be available, not available, but good for competitive play. Some of them won't. But it's layers to the onion that you can add easily if you want. But different ways to channel, different ways to have an extra resource during casting throughout the whole game. A better miscast table, because right now the miscast table, you're like, whatever, I don't care. It's not that big a deal. It needed to be slightly more punishing. And also they're releasing cards to help support that game system too. So I'll be buying up the book and the cards for this 100%.
That I might need to pick those up too.
I think so. Also there's Blood Bowl. That's cool. That's fine. That's all we're talking about for that.
Yeah. They're cool models. Yeah, I like them.
They're cool. Yep. Yeah.
The Minotaur is cool, I think, because he doesn't he's not like holding a ball or anything like that. You can just like throw him in your army. Same thing with the
Morgan Thorg.
The Rat Ogre is what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have, there's the Witch Elves from the Blood Bowl kit are in my Daughters of Cain army because they're cool. Like, one of my champions is just a Witch Elf in booty shorts because I felt like it. Because they're in booty shorts in that game. Like, it's cool. But yeah, no, I'm excited for it. I can't wait. Obviously, Alex and I will do a review whenever I get it in hand. But yeah, also, and we're not going to go through these beat by beat, but just generally speaking, there's a couple articles released for the Old World stuff coming out. This first one's fun. It's the Battle March armies that the studio has created. Which Battle March, like like I said, it's not preset armies. It's preset limits and changes a few things. So you can kind of do whatever you want. So beautiful Orc and Goblin Tribes army, a Warriors of Chaos army, which is not using any of the new models. They were not kind to this Quinn. They're just like, you don't get the new models. You just use the old stuff.
Yeah.
And then Dwarven Mountain holds a Slayer host, which even laughs. He's like, it's not a host. It's a unit and a guy and a war machine. But there you go. Empire Man. Here's a good example of a Battle March host for you. And I have a feeling Empire's going to be pretty strong about it at smaller points levels. I don't know why. I'm probably wrong, but I feel it.
Interesting.
And then
so what makes you say that?
I just think because their points are so cheap and they have such versatility that they're not going to be locked into one thing, and you can bring at least one decent semi-hammer unit. Because with Battle March point limit, you're not bringing a huge character. You're not bringing a character that can win the game. You're bringing a hero that can support and maybe help win a combat barely. So
Yeah.
it's all about the units in this game for Battle March. Not that the big game's all about heroes, but heroes can sway things a lot more.
Yeah. And the heroes in old world in general are just one of the things that attracts me to that, is like just the customization, being able to make something unique and cool and interesting.
Oh yeah, the crunchiness of the rules. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like that is one of the things that really has been bothering me about AOS, is just that they stripped out so many artifacts
Oh
and
yeah. Sub
heroic
and
traits
sub
and
factions and just flavor.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, like they stripped out everything that was fun for Johnny. And that is stuff that I just like. They made list buildings like boring. It's not fun.
Oh yeah, you want to have a good time list building, you go to Old World.
Oh yeah,
If you want to have a
for
nightmare
sure.
list building, you go to Horus Heresy. If you want to have boredom, you go to 40k and Sigmar.
Mm.
I have had fun building spam lists in Old World because there's still enough nuance that you're gonna be like, how do I take this?
Yeah.
There's Dave with King's Bretonia. I think that could also be very powerful just because their knights are a little bit better with the lance formation.
Yep.
And then Beast Chaos, I have no idea. I've ambushers, I guess, sure, but just want to get a quick glance through that and also a quick glance through the designer notes. I read through this. It just kind of goes through what's loosely in the battle time. This obviously it's a article to help sell you on getting the pre-order, which I was already sold. It's Old World. I don't have it. I want it. Um, what I would say is if you really want, because it came out today, um, one pre-order the book, but if you haven't yet, go check out the Square Based podcast. Since I mean I'm not beholden by NDAs or anything either. I technically have the leaked copy of the Arcane Journal, but I just don't care to do it early. I want to wait for it to get in my hands and I play a little bit. But if you want to see the early first take, go check out the Square Based podcast because they just did a show on it today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, if you have a thing and you don't technically have an NDA and you leak it, you're probably never getting it again.
Yeah,
So
I to be fair, I've asked to get it and was pretty much snubbed, and I just stopped asking and stopped doing stuff. But I'm also not the type of guy that wants to just go out there and be. I don't want to be a leaker. I'm not.
yeah,
That's not what my channel's about. I'm not. I don't need to be the first. I will do it in my own time, when I feel like it, when I have it, because that's when I'll talk about it. Um, but
yeah.
everybody has their niche. I'm not saying anything bad. Like I'm glad that they do it early because they have it, and I get to learn about it early too. So, um,
Yeah, I like to do it when it's like just an army that I care about.
sure, yeah,
If it's not an army that I play, I'm not about to, like, I end up with these things in my lap somehow because it just is leaked all over the internet. But
it's because we've been
like
around a while.
number of
And we
times,
know everybody. It just
yeah,
we one of the chats we're in, we're just like, oh hey, I guess here's this.
yeah. But I saw so much of the ogre book ahead of time, and like I just don't care about ogres. I'm not going to do an ogre show
Yeah.
with ogre leaks because I don't know anything about the army. So
Do you know the only reason I actually sought out the leaked book of the Ogre book was to
why?
provide it to the person I was buying the Ogre Kingdom stuff off of, so he knew what he wasn't going to keep. The only reason I was like, "Hey, here it is. I found it." And he's like, "Okay, cool." Then he's like, "All right, this is
That's funny.
completely self-serving." It was wonderful, but whatever. Um, yeah, that's a philosophy thing. It's not like not a not degrading anyone that does do it because that serves a purpose in our community space as well, 100%. And
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah, and then there's all of those wonderful people that do get the stuff ahead of time, that once the moment their NDA expires, they have a video up about it. And
Yeah,
That is also wonderful.
yeah, and I feel bad for them sometimes too because like they have to deal with the people that don't have the NDA and are getting it early and leak it.
Yeah.
However, still, the two people I'll always watch for all my content on competitive stuff for Age of Sigmar, AOS Coach, Warhammer Weekly. I don't care if it's 2 weeks late. I will watch it, and because I like their insights more than I like most others, honestly, in Sigmar specifically.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, those my list of channels that I watch now is pretty short.
You want to go through a list of channels I watch that are based about retro video games? I have so many. No, I'm kidding.
Oh man. Yeah, my YouTube feed is a lot of stuff like history and comedy
I get
and
yeah,
science.
I get through a history phase about every autumn. I'm like, I want to learn about the Civil War again. Let's. I don't know why. It's like cozy for me. I don't know. It's weird, but
Yeah, yeah. World War One is my cozy history thing.
have have you listened to the World War One by what's it called? Dan something.
Dan Carlin?
Yeah, Dan Carlin. You listen to
I listen through that
multiple times. Okay.
pretty much every fall.
I mean that's the best World War One ever. Anyway,
So good.
have you listened?
Everything he does is gold,
Have
though.
you listened through the Revolutions podcast?
I have not. I'm not familiar with that one.
So it's the same gentleman. I'm drawing a blank on his name. I have books from him. He's written great stuff. But his first podcast was the History of Rome podcast.
Mhm.
I listened to all of it over the course of like 2.5 years because it's so much. And then
Yeah.
he did a new one after he finished the History of Rome called Revolutions, and it's more segmented because it's just different revolutions in history. And sometimes it's like 8 episodes, sometimes it's two. Like obviously he did the American, but he did so many. Revolutions podcast, shout it out. I think it's one of the best ones that people probably still haven't picked up on fully yet. And he kind of has. He's on a hiatus for it right now. I don't think there's anything new for it. Have to double check, but I think I'm caught up with it fully.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. I see you like searching. You're adding it right now.
Yep, sure am.
You're gonna love it. Yeah, you will absolutely love it.
Yeah, I love history and all of that stuff. It's I don't know. If I were to be forced into teaching as a career, it would probably be history.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'd be the most fascinating for me to just dive into it.
Yep.
But last thing here to shout out because I keep forgetting to do it. I'll probably do it at the start of the next show. You'll see Alex. He'll be like, he'll support me, but he'll be like, ah. I keep forgetting to talk about it. I have started my own side hustle, everybody, but it's not Warhammer related.
Oh my.
So I do have it. It's a separate Instagram because even though my Strength Hammer Instagram is just me, it's Warhammer, it's fitness, it's whatever my interests are. But this is more of a store page because I have an Etsy. It's all linked there. It's going to be on screen here right now. Save State Mods on Instagram. So I absolutely love repairing and upgrading old Game Boys and retro consoles and handhelds.
That's cool.
So if you're interested in something like that, you can give me a follow there. You can check out the Etsy store. That's all. I just want to shout it out because I'd like to at least maybe grow the Instagram, even if you're not interested in the buying one right now. But hey, if you like the retro stuff, it's only going to be about retro stuff on there, specifically about the stuff that's usually what I'm working on. So just want to shout that out.
Yeah. So you're doing like picking up stuff, refurbing it, and reselling?
I found a huge like one of the if you go to the Instagram, one of my pin posts is I got this huge lot. I got a crazy good deal on it, but it is so much. I'm set for a couple years of getting through modding of this stuff.
Oh wow.
Which is it's
That's
something
cool.
I just absolutely love. It's like painting Warhammer. I just do it and it's breathing. So
Yeah.
and I don't care to turn Warhammer into a business, but this I kind of do, mostly because I want to mod Game Boys. But and my wife helps me too. She loves it too. But my wife and I, while we want to mod Game Boys, we don't want 80 Game Boys in our house.
Yeah.
We already have like 20 that we're keeping, like from what we've done in the past. So it's like we don't need more. But
Yeah. I really enjoy a lot of like classic video games. I play them all on Nintendo Switch. So I don't have like the personal affinity for like the old physical media
Yeah,
of
you
it.
don't have the nostalgia
I,
for the physicalness, but you just want to play the games.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And I think at this point, I probably should start actually picking up, like, instead of just replaying the same games over and over again, like try and find the gems that I never played. Like I
Yes.
literally have never played a single Pokemon video game other
Oh,
than Pokemon Go, which doesn't really count.
it counts. There's so much. I could go on and on and on. We'll talk maybe after this. I'll give you some
Yes.
insights on what to do and something that would be better than Switch to have, possibly a little bit more travel, easy to go. Um, but what I will say is my favorite thing to do right now has been for the past year is I have a Japanese Super Famicom I bought on eBay
Oh, that's cool.
like a couple years ago. And Japanese games are super cheap because most people don't like even the expensive games. If I bought
Yeah.
Chrono Trigger in the United States right now for Super Nintendo, English, hundreds of dollars. I bought the
Yeah.
Japanese copy for 15. Why?
What?
It's because people don't want to. I will learn Japanese and I will sit there with a translator and get through it. People like I said like oh, game companies you don't understand my or scalpers you don't understand how much I'm willing to not give you money.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just a side tangent. Check it out. Maybe I'll do a full solo episode on that stuff later, but just wanted to shout it out while I thought of it. So, but for now, Paul, any last comments you wanna get out here on any subject?
Uh, we've covered so much already.
I know, yeah.
No, no. I am just continuing fun hobby stuff, and now we can talk about the real main topic.
What's the real main topic?
Oh, I mean, I thought we were talking about what's changed in Old World.
Oh, yeah, I guess we could talk about that. I was just kind of going through your story and everything. I kind of lost track of that. Change in Old
Yeah.
World. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, what was the actual like big rules change in the FAQ a couple of years ago? Like,
So they're wanting to buff infantry specifically.
yeah,
So with infantry, they were just getting run over by cavalry, monsters, all this sort of stuff. So one of the big
yeah.
limits they
I
had,
remember that being an unfun part of the game. That like it was just cavalry, monsters, and like chariots were so good compared to everything else.
yes, the one of the big changes is essentially they made it through rules writing and points that the large beasts like dragons, you can't
Hmm.
get the triple save anymore. You can't get the armor, the ward, and the regen save because you get all three in Old World. You were pretty much getting two, either
Right.
armor and ward, armor and regen, what have you. So um, that was a big change to help bring those down a little bit more to earth, which was good. But infantry, they added different things like there's close order, open order, so formations, which is a little bit
Right.
confusing because it's the same, looks the same. You have to read your rules. The close
Right.
order means it's their experienced fighters essentially, whereas open order is it's just a rabble. But for concept of the game, you need to move them in the right way. But with the infantry, the biggest changes is making them better to win a combat by things like if you're close order and you have 10 or more models, you get +1. If you're unit strength 10 or more and you're infantry, you get an additional +1. Um, I'm not close order 10 or more, just being close order gets you +1. So they added 2 extra layers of static combat res to you if you could survive with a big
Oh,
block. And then on top of that, not it used to be when this game began, which was the hardest part for me, only the first rank got the fight. And,
yeah.
and if you lost someone in the first rank, then the person stepping up could not fight. So there's times you'd be fighting, and if you go second, only your champion could fight because the champion has to be called out specifically to be killed, or he always gets to fight, essentially. But now you had 2 ranks.
Hmm.
So someone coming from the third rank to the second rank could still fight. Now, the second rank only gets 1 attack, but there's not a ton of attacks in Old World.
Right.
You're rolling small handful of dice at most, and that swings it because it's all about the combat res for you. So between the added rank of fighting and the added static combat res you could build into your units of infantry, it took the whole game and put it on its head, saying, "Okay, you guys need infantry now." Now, if you're running infantry, you're just like, oh, world's my oyster. It got so much better. But if you were like a whole cavalry build, you're like, okay, well, can I still punch through? And in some cases, yes, there was different things like Bretonnian, specifically Pegasus Knights and their heroes, had crazy range of vision. Now that didn't get
Yeah.
toned down until the recent FAQ. But imagine this. But skirmish in Old World is essentially just a Sigmar unit, and you
Right.
can imagine how powerful that is when 45 degrees is a very important angle for you to worry about. You could be just outside and not facing, but I can still charge you. It was kind of crazy. Um, that's not to say there's not still things that could be tamed down, but they recently went through and increased some toughness of some of the big monsters, the weaker ones like giants and things like that. Because like they don't really, a giant doesn't really have an armor save. It's just tough as heck. Like I can hit it,
Yeah.
can I wound it is the hard part. And they're making it harder. So like now it's gonna be very hard for some basic infantry who might be rolling 10 to 20 dice. Well, you need sixes. You don't have those
Mm.
sixes, and hey, if you're like a Noblar horde, you're too weak. You're not wounding that giant. The only way you're winning is because you have so much bodies that he can't get through it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's probably the biggest changes we had at that point. Um,
So does infantry still not step up when they're killed, or do you now get the step up in addition to the extra rank?
Step up is just you filling the holes. It's essentially saying
Right.
you're still pulling from the back rank. But if someone
Got
was
it.
killed in the first and second rank, they won't get to swing. You still have to discount that.
Okay.
People are still stepping up to fill the void, but since you have extra ranks of attack, it helps mitigate that a lot. Because you pull from
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Because if you have a unit that is, like 10 wide, doubling from 10 attacks to 20 is a lot.
Well, it's not 10 to 20, so it depends on the unit because, like I said, the front rank will get full attacks, which could be multiple. The second rank,
Right.
which is the supporting, only ever gets one.
Oh, so you only get +1 attack?
Well, you get
Or
the second rank only gets one attack, period. So even if it's like witch elves have two attacks, that second rank can fight, but they're only attacking once, not twice.
okay, so if in Age of Sigmar terms, if their attack characteristic is 2, they can only attack 1.
Right, but the front rank can still attack full attacks.
Okay, but if everything is already only 1 attack, like Empire dorks.
Empire, yeah, you don't care. You're like, okay, cool, I still get full attacks. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a big change.
Yeah, and one of the other major changes we had from that FAQ too was template spells. There was a couple template spells that were awful because you just chose where they went. Now, templates are always random. You cast it and it just moves wherever it wants because it was very easy. There was a Wood Elf build specifically that allowed you to bring all the Sisters of the Thorn and just always choose the Pillar of Fire and just cast it over and over again, which you could control it at the time. And you would just be like, all right, I'm just going to burn everything with my unit that you can't charge me because I'm running away forever. The other major change we had was so magic was very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Not the magic spells themselves weren't overtly unit killers like they were in 8th edition. They weren't like I can just point at this and it's dead. But magic would still give you the upper hand. And if you had a level 4 wizard and your opponent did not have a level 4, congratulations, you're casting every spell. Unless you rolled crazy boxcars, they're still getting enough off. They changed it so if you're a level 1 or 2, you get +1 to your casting instead of the wizard level. And if you're 3 and 4, you got +2. Now, that helped us
tone down everything a little bit.
Tone down the ability to cast, and they also increased the casting values of a lot of spells.
Interesting.
So, and to be fair, it didn't make it. I don't want to say it nerfed magic from where it was, but it didn't nerf it to a point that was bad. It nerfed it to be what it should be.
Yeah.
So now,
I remembered the few games that I played, magic felt like it was very strong.
Yes. Now it's still strong, but you might not get it off.
Yeah.
And now with the new miscast table, which I think is going to be everywhere for match play, Magic's a risk.
Yeah.
Um, and it could be a fun risk. But yeah, it's very that was very much that whole FAQ was about bringing things up and putting things down, so it all kind of reached that medium level. There's still powerful things. There's still good armies. Like don't get me wrong, Cathay's still a crazy good army with all these changes. Um, but it helped put things more into like a baseline.
Yeah. What's making Cathay a good army?
So what's making Cathay a good army? One, it's the Mary Sue faction. If you read any of the lore, like it's beloved.
Ah.
It can do no wrong. Um, but originally when it came out, there was no peasants. So you had imagine taking a Age of Sigmar new army style, so Fire Slayers.
Mhm.
But imagine everyone else in the Sigmar universe was Lumineth with all their rules. A big
Oh.
collection, lots of stuff they could do, and you're making this new army that has very few units that has to keep up with that army, all those armies. So very few units had all the rules you'd ever want.
Mm.
And then they expanded the line, and they have shifted some things, made things a little bit better. It's still a very powerful army, I feel. The ways they can break the rules are somewhat unique and can make it unfun if you keep doing it over and over again. Like I haven't took my Cathay is undefeated, and I have not brought
Wow.
it to club night for a while because it's just not fun. Like we're there to have fun. Like if I was to go to a tournament, I'd probably take it. I'd probably still get maybe 3-2, 4-1 comfortably. Um, but like for a casual night, it's still a little bit too much. Like I played a it was like a 1,200 point game at a club day, and I took a sentinel. I was like, all right, I'll throw a sentinel in. Why not? The sentinel soloed the entire opposing force himself. I'm like, okay, that's dumb, but okay.
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I think Cathay's good, but it's a top tier army, but it's not the consistent win always army like it was for a while there.
Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I one of the things that really was initially driving me away from Old World was that it felt like the answer was just play heavy cavalry and win games.
I took a heavy
And
cavalry
that was
list. Yeah, I did that to one event, and it's fun. To be fair, it is fun. It's super fun to be like
yeah.
ABC, always be charging heavy cavalry, run, 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 run. But you either found the counter or you just ran over your opponent. There was no middle ground.
Yeah.
And actually, real quick, I need to step away for 1 second. Why don't you vamp about what you love about Old World so far? I'll be back in 2 minutes at most.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I think Old World in general is I like the flexibility in list building and army building and you know the creation of the heroes and just the amount of customization that you can do with it, right? Like if you look at the classic Magic the Gathering drink psychographic profiles, I'm very much on like the Johnny Timmy end of things, and that end of things has been really neglected in Age of Sigmar, and so that makes me more interested in Old World now. And I didn't have like a really good community to play with. I had like a couple of people that I knew, and they weren't able to play that much and are no longer really as interested in it. So, but finding out that there's more people locally that actually are playing the game makes me be like, oh, well, I could bring my army out for a spin. I can go get some games in. I can tool around with lists. Age of Sigmar lists are just not fun to sit and build. That's really the kind of crux of the issue for me right now with AOS is like the list building in AOS is just boring right now. And I used to sit and just play around in the app and build lists and like, oh, am I going to take this artifact or that artifact? Am I going to, you'd have that last, 300-400 points in your list that you weren't sure what to do with, and you kept swapping stuff around and changing things up, and it feels very cookie cutter now. But yeah, a lot of the list building I think is really
Yeah.
what I think is fun in Old World.
Well, what's nice, like what Sigmar lost was the sub factions, allowing you to really make a choice of what you want to bring, not just bringing the best thing and choosing the best rule set on top of it. And
Yeah,
and it's odd because Old World, your core rules for your army are still your core rules, but you're
yeah,
bringing different combinations based upon the hero you build. And like I said, you're not worrying about 300 points. Usually, I'm worrying about 30 points, 30 to 100 points. Yep. But yeah, after that big FAQ change a while ago, everything else since then has been like minor tweaks, correcting some things,
mm-hmm.
helping some different armies. However, I can only suspect that GW Specialist Design Studio has noticed the community effort too. So
Yeah,
Val over at Square Based, again, to keep shouting them out. There's the Renegade, which is a big community push. So the Renegade list, instead of calling them Legacy, because Legacy is very close to Legends, and we're like, no, we know these are coming back. Stop fooling us.
Yeah.
So there's two levels to the Renegade list. There's the Renegade Pack, which is just a very small tightening up of bringing some things back that help bring the armies up to the basic level of what you need to play this game.
Yeah.
The next layer up, which I've never been to an event that has done this yet, and I haven't done it myself yet, but I'm hoping to in the future, just locally, which is the Renegade tier list, which is very loose. And then, like I said, it's always an ongoing battle. But essentially, are you an S tier, A, B, C, or D tier army? And based upon that, it's not necessarily changing the rules, but it's saying like, okay, well, if you're Cathay, you're playing at 2,000 points. Okay, if you're Lizardmen who are not good, you get 2,400 points. And there's math involved too to post, so that way the scoring at the end still matches up to be a 2,000 point. Like you only get so much per, but you just need more stuff to help compete with what Cathay brings as a Lizardman army. So that was another big cultural change. I have not experienced it yet, but
so it's basically some of the old 8th edition comp kind of concept.
Yes, but it's the lighter touch, not the Swedish comp heavy pack changes. And I've played Swedish comp. It's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Then the last thing, and this is getting more towards the heavy end. Val's been doing a pet project slowly where he essentially takes the legacy armies only and is rewriting them almost, not from the ground up, but making them much closer to be in line. And sometimes it's very community driven where he's talking to other people. Like he asked me about Dark Elves. He asked me about Lizardmen since he knew I played Lizardmen, and like I gave the input where I could. But it's tons of people he's asking. He's just the spearhead to organize it, and that is to essentially give, legacy armies don't have all the flavor of the core books. Now it gives them all the flavor again. It's like, hey, take your 3rd edition Sigmar army and go back to 2nd edition. You're like, whoa, Flavor Town.
Yeah. I want Flavor Town.
We all do.
I like Flavor Town. Age of Sigmar is currently mayonnaise. But
is there some dill in the mayonnaise at least? No? Okay.
I don't think they even put salt and pepper in this mayonnaise.
Just egg.
Oh,
yeah, but that's been the other big changes since you've been involved in Old World. It was like that big FAQ. Everything else has been tightening up after that as far as FAQs, and then the Renegade stuff really kind of changing it. There is people out there who are doing, to be fair, they're trying to do different comps. Every single one of them has been kind of like, Like, we don't need this many. Who cares? We're all kind of rallied around and supporting what the Square base has done. So that's kind of the main comp we've looked at. Because like I said, it's light
Mhm.
enough that's not intrusive, and it's community driven enough that it feels well done. The only other event that does a crazy comp, and I honestly I think they acknowledge it. So the Squarehammer guys, they're the ones that run the Old World event at Nova. They're just
Mhm.
essentially running Ninth Age version of Old World. They just want to play Ninth Age, and that's fine. But if you ask me, would I ever go play a Old World game in their comp? No, because that comp does not sit in a good place for me. I don't feel like I'm playing Old World anymore, and that's not saying what they do is bad because they always get tons of great turnout. But that's like one of the few examples of a non, I guess, unified community where we're just like, all right, we'll take it from here, thanks GW type style.
Yeah. Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah, but that's
I'm curious about something.
sure.
When when the game first launched, I remember people freaking out about the possibilities with like reforming infantry, and they were calling it line hammer. Just being able to put your whole unit out just like in one rank across the board, and people were freaking out and saying that like, oh, this game is horribly broken, this is going to ruin competitive play, all of that stuff. Um, has that ever been a thing?
No, honestly, I've seen people do it as memes before it was corrected very quick, somewhat quickly. But I've never seen it at an event itself or heard of it at an event itself. Essentially, what that was if you're in the fighting rank, you got to attack. So if you had
Yeah.
100 people across in the fighting rank and one little goblin touched the far left side, 100 attacks were going into him. And that's more of the rules writers writing a rule, and then the people who take too much Tylenol going, well, actually, technically by the rules, yeah. Like it's like no one was going to actually do that, but the few people who brought it up are like, okay, now we need to fix it. So now you can only attack in the front rank if you technically have enough movement to get there. So if your movement's 4 inches and you're 5 inches away, you're not swinging. You can't walk over there and attack. You're too far away. So that's how they corrected it.
So it did kind of get a rules fix.
It got a rules slap on the wrist, be like, hey, this is why this is dumb now. Like we didn't intend
Yeah.
it that way. And to be fair, it became more of a meme than people actually wanting to do it. Like I heard people complaining about it. It's like, yeah, you're complaining about something that no one's ever going to actually do to you. Doesn't mean it shouldn't be
Yeah.
fixed, but yeah, it was like, okay, sure.
Yeah. I remember my brief foray into making a couple of videos about Old World and being involved in like Facebook groups on Old World. I was very much in the camp of like, guys, this is dumb. We're freaking out about nothing.
Yep.
No one's actually going to do this. If anyone does this, simply don't play with them ever again.
Right.
Like, let's all just be grown-ups about this and stop freaking out. Um, and the response to me doing that kind of turned me off to some of the old world community as
Sure.
well. I will not lie to you.
Yep, that's fair.
But you know, I it was I don't know. It may also just be that people are assholes on Facebook.
Oh
You
yeah, yeah.
know?
People like the
That's
Facebook groups are the worst groups. Oh my god, yeah, they're the absolute worst. Twitter's nicer for Old World, probably honestly. Oh no, Paul.
yeah.
Oh, there he is. He's back. Okay.
But I do not touch Twitter with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, I stopped.
So
I stopped too, and I still peruse it on occasion, but I just don't post there. I'd rather just post on one. But I get you. But no,
yep.
the one thing I will say that I do like about Old World is they treat me like an adult as far as what they present to me and give me and what they allow me to do. They straight up encourage kit bashing because some of the units don't physically exist. They're like, oh, you can just kit bash it from these two kits, and they tell you that. They let you do that, and you're like, oh yeah, I can do that. That's fun. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Whereas
They
Sigmar is
they
like, oh,
acknowledge that we all do this anyway.
I'm allowed to have a variety of weapons across my army, not random weapon with with a name that everybody has.
Yep.
Yeah, like it's and I get it too from the standpoint from what GW is doing for Sigmar is what they've been doing with 40K for a while now, which is trying to build a competitive game, a competitive balanced
Yeah.
game. And to be fair, that's not what I want. And Old World's giving me what I want, which is fun, casual, nitty gritty craziness. I can be competitive at it, but I going into a competitive nature with it sometimes, knowing that it's made up bullshit, and we're gonna just be wild
Yeah.
with it, not oh well this is perfectly balanced so I can be hyper aggressive. No, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm also like putting artificial constraints on myself now with Age of Sigmar. Just like, I'm going to play with the models that I want to play with and try and build a functional list around that,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know?
fair. I go to an event and I'm just like I'm for honestly with every event you have to decide like am I going for an award? Am I trying to be a certain record, or do I just not care? Um,
Yeah.
every old world event I've been to, I'm just mentally going like I'm gonna go own five, but I'm running my fun toys. The end.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. And is the cost of entry worth that to me because I'm not winning anything, or having a shot at winning anything? So, and sometimes it is. Sometimes I'm like, it's too much. I don't want to go for that.
Yeah.
But I said old world. The thing is too, there's not as many old world events out there that are big ones yet.
Yeah.
So like you're having to travel more. So I get it. It's a harder ask for someone like you who's had issues where it's been turned off a little bit with certain things to
Hmm.
trust me to say like no, it's worth it to go. Thankfully you have, like I said, a local community with RTTs that I think you should absolutely go try out that you'd absolutely love. But it is a
Yeah.
hard ask if you don't have a local scene to then go to a bigger event that may cost a couple $100 to maybe $1,000 for travel and food and hotel and all that. Um,
Yep.
but overall, it's a great community at the events themselves. What you hear online is the people that don't go to events anyway, and they don't matter.
Yeah. Yep. That's the people posting on Facebook from underneath their bridge.
Mm-hmm. It's like cool. I play Old World probably 4 times a month minimum,
Yeah.
and I'm not out there complaining about it. That's it. The
Yep.
worst games I ever have is whenever I'm playing someone like Alex, and we haven't communicated fully on what type of game we want to have, and where I'll go into it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where he defaults more towards competitive, I default more towards casual. So if we don't have that conversation beforehand, we have a bad game because we're realizing what we're doing. But we have that conversation now. We have a good time. He's like, hey, I want to be competitive. I want to try this. I'm like, okay, I'll bring some bullshit, and if we get to a rules question, we'll figure it out as we go. But like you have to kind of know
Yeah.
what you're getting into. But to be fair, the baseline is casual from what I've seen with every community.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm definitely very much down for that. That's like I've become a very casual beer and pretzels kind of player. Like I'm here to just have a good time. I don't assume I'm winning any games, you know.
Yeah, listen, I'm going home to my wife every night. I don't need to win Warhammer
Yep.
to be happy and successful in life. I got the roof, I got the
Yeah.
wife, I got the cats, I got the Game Boys. What you have painted armies? I got everything. I'm rich, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
You have
Yep.
kids. You have an extra level of rich. You're like you're done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. I couldn't get to the mute button fast enough.
Don't you worry about that.
Oh,
Um, what other questions do you have about Old World that I could answer for you?
oh, geez. I'm not sure I even have that many more questions.
Okay.
I Yeah, I think the big thing was really like what was in that big FAQ,
I said that,
and
yeah, and the big FAQ was just toning down big things, bringing up the small things, but it put everything into a good place. And
yeah.
they
And
did it.
where did they publish the points changes? Is that just in a PDF somewhere?
They're just in the PDF, but what I would say is go to Old World Builder. I think it's oldworldbuilder.net. Let me check it real quick. Oh, I have an API installed. Old World Builder. Just Google that. That's
Yep.
my favorite list builder. It reminds me of Battlescribe, but it's so much easier. It's web based. You can do
Mhm.
the API install to your Samsung or iPhone, so that way it's just like kind of semi permanently there. But whoever runs that is a godsend because they update it as soon as they're legally allowed. So,
Interesting.
like if a book was released, they might be like, "Hey, we're putting the points in, we're putting the unit names in, but we're not putting any of the rules in." And as soon as the book's fully released, here's the rules added. So Old World Builder,
Interesting.
and it's clockwork. They are so good at it. Whoever runs it there. Um, if they had a Patreon, which I don't think they do, I would buy into it because I use them and I'm there every day, just like list building, having a good time. Like I have a list for every Sigmar army and every 40k army, but they're all empty except for one, like my Daughter's Cane and my Yanari. My Old World, every army that I own, it has a fully built list I could grab right now and go play a game. And I usually after I finish playing it, I'm like, cool, let's change this list up. Let's have some fun.
Nice.
Yeah, but Old World
Yeah.
Builder is my favorite
I
source for that stuff.
I'm gonna have to go start playing around with lists again.
Yeah, and the best part is it yells at you if you're doing something wrong. It's like, hey, this is wrong. Just like Battlescribe used to. Like, you have too many points in this hero. Because like there was other things like that I should mention. They've limited like you can only have so many points in a unit now. So you can't have over a 500 point unit. You can't have over like a certain point hero now. So like I said, it helps just bring things more towards the middle. Like a dragon still feels good. Don't get me wrong. I love it.
Yeah.
Skirmish is still really good, but you don't they're not going to win you the game all the time.
Nice. That's what I definitely like to hear. That it feels like they've done a good job of making the game balanced without um, all of the insane amount of tweaks that Age of Sigmar has to constantly go through.
Yeah, there's more rules clarifications than tweaks, and even some of the stuff that would be read as tweaks, which is, hey, we're adjusting the language of this, is just to clarify it.
Yeah.
Like I said, points changes are not often. Characteristic changes are even less often. It's more of things like fanatics, for example.
Mhm.
Fanatics used to be they are still launched at the start of a turn, any turn by the opponent. So friendly turn or opponent's turn to discourage charging. But they used to be able to not be not be targeted in any way, shape, or form, which was still egregious. Which meant
Yeah.
you're running into it, you're going to take it, and you're hoping that maybe they roll back onto themselves. Now, when the opponent pops them, I can technically target them through shooting only. I can't combat them because combat they're a whirling dervish of mess. I can't. I get that, but I can at least shoot them. Which
Yeah.
thank goodness. That's perfect. And then I don't think there should be any changes. I think that makes it so there's counterplay around it, but not always. Sometimes I might just be like, I just have to go and eat these fanatic charges, and hopefully I live enough to win the combat.
Mm.
So
Nice.
yeah, I said the hardest part right now in the game for me is specifically random moves because I usually mentally build around being able to charge or countercharge. And when someone says I'm now in combat with you and they didn't charge or countercharge, I'm like, uh, no,
Yeah.
no, my game plan's to have a fair fight, and you're not playing a fair fight because you're a squick and you don't understand what that means. But
Yeah. I'm definitely excited to get back into Old World for sure.
yeah, please do. And then after you do, if you get whole hog into it, we'll have to have you back on so you can tell us the journey of what brought you to that level. Because honestly,
Absolutely.
I think right now, don't get me wrong, I love Sigmar. They're squandering what they could do with the story. They're squandering what they could do with flavors of the armies. And I hope, honestly, my hope for the next edition of Sigmar is they make two rule sets: competitive and non-competitive.
Yeah. I think that's really what they need to do.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
I think they need to really differentiate it in a way that isn't like competitive casual.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be like match play, tournament play.
Yes.
Some
Very
kind of thing that really doesn't make one seem like it's lesser.
Yeah.
Just one is designed for a competition, not for being a competitive game.
Yeah. It's 100%. Like that's what I hope for that. But the reason I say that is everything you miss from second edition Sigmar,
Yeah.
Old World gives you now. Everything you miss
and more
from like 6th edition 40k, Old World gives you now.
Yep.
And let's be honest, generally speaking, you're getting more bang for your buck for the models per cost. They're older models. So if you like them, you have nostalgia, or you just don't mind the older models, you're still paying a lot, but you're usually getting twice as much.
Right.
So it's not that hard to get into it. And let's be honest, with another fact too, since it's not a mainline GW game, there's only one place in the world where you can't use 3D printed proxy models. That's Warhammer World.
In Warhammer World.
And that's fine. 100%. Because their events still fill up. A lot of people have a good time. They're great. Shout out to Steve Wren. He runs amazing events there. But I know no one else in the world that runs an event that will not allow you to have non-GW models this game. So it could be very cheap to get into if you want to. But one way or the other, whether it's official GW or not, you can figure it out how you see fit.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay, now we did the main topic. I can't believe I
we did the main topic.
I completely forgot about the main topic. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I just
all right.
I just like chatting with my buddy Paul.
Yeah.
Well, everybody out there, make sure you go and check out Radio Free Hammer Hall. Like I said, link down below to the episode I was on with him, but check out his other content. It's great. And subscribe, like to him, me, whoever. Unsubscribe from me, subscribe to him. Like just whatever, I don't care. But Paul, any last thoughts for this then?
No, I'm just excited to get back to some crunchy list building.
Well then, hey, Old World Builder is your way to go.
Yeah, man.
All right, catch you all.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. I appreciate you coming on. Like I said, first guest in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll catch you all, guys, in about a week's time, if not sooner, because I think I'm doing Tale 7 Warlord soon. So anyway, bye.